Hello and welcome to Wolf Ridge Woodworking. Today we're going to be having some fun with resin, making some pin planks using this honeycomb material. And then we're going to turn this hobby knife. Stick around, let's go have some fun. I've got a couple of different types of honeycomb here. These are aluminum honeycombs. It comes in a bigger sheet that I just cut down to fit into the silicone mold over here. And then I've got these 3D printed blanks. Now I tried when I did this one in PLA, and if you're not familiar with 3D printing, it's probably one of the most widely used, but it does have some drawbacks. It's temperature sensitive, UV sensitive, and things like that. So what I did was I printed these in the next one up, as far as I know, to PETG. And it has a little bit more stability with temperature because what happened is the other one, it kind of warped as the resin started curing. So we're going to try it out with these. Now I drew these up on Shaper 3D on my iPad, and you can print these in different colors. If you have a capability of doing multicolors, you can change the colors. You can change the design. It's really endless with creating these blanks out of the 3D printed parts. So I will have all of these up for sale on my site. The blanks that we make with these, I'll have some of these up there. I'll also have both the digital file if you want to print them yourself, or I'll sell the printed pieces. So make sure you check the description on a link on how to get to all of this. So first thing we got to do is, these have always got some residue on them, so what we need to do is put them in some acetone, get them cleaned up, let them dry out, and then we can put some resin in there. So just got an old jam jar. I think it's safer to use glass rather than plastic. I just don't know what kind of reaction it would have. But anyway, so we're just going to throw those down in there. And I'm not going to fill the whole thing up with this, but I'm just going to put enough so I can put the lid on it and then just slosh it around and try to get it cleaned up. So just get them all wet and make sure that, you know, all of it's got some of that acetone in it and cleaning it. This should help it adhere. I've done this before and I've never had a problem with it coming detached from the honeycomb. Okay. So now we're just going to take them out. And we're just going to set them here and let them air dry. So I'm going to hit this mold with a little bit of some mold release. I'm not going to do it right here. I'm just going to do it somewhere else so that it doesn't interfere with any of this. So I'm going to spray it and I'll be back. Alrighty. So when you spray that, it's just a boom boom and that's it. You don't need to flood it. So we're just going to put these back in. Push them down all the way. They shouldn't float because there's pretty good connection in there. Alrighty. So now it's time to mix up some resin. All right, so I'm going to mix up some resin and then I am going to divide it in between these 3 cups plus this because I got 4 colors that I'm going to do. Again, I'm using Aluminite Clear Slow. About 12 minutes of working time, but it's about 87 in the garage now, so that isn't going to give me 10, 11, 12 minutes. It's going to be more like probably 6 or 7 minutes, honestly. So I'm going to be quick about this. Once I get done mixing the resin, you've seen me do that before, I'll come back, I'll show you the colors that I put in and mixed it in, and then we'll get to pouring it. Well, I didn't get to show you the blanks being poured because they started setting off and I had to get rid of them. I can't even reuse this. But basically that's the color. It's white with some red interference, candy apple green, a turquoise, and then a sparkly blue. So those are the colors that I chose. Alrighty, so I got them out of the pressure pot. And now it's just time to clean them up. So I'm just going to do that here on the 12-inch sander. But I need some dust protection. Check down in the description for some percent off on these razor masks. They're really awesome. Alright, so let's get this blank prepared to make that hobby knife. So this is just a 7mm pin tube. It's just a one-piece tube. So let's get this marked up, get it over the bandsaw, and get it cut. And you cut this end off about there. And then we're going to go there. Okay, so that gives us our size. Okay, now that we've got it cut down to size, I just got some pin vise here in this chuck. So get that mounted up, and then I've also got a 7mm drill bit, which is the size of the blank, or the brass tube, I should say. So we're just going to get a hole drilled all the way through it, and then we can glue in the brass tube. Okay, I've got about 500 RPM is what I usually try to do my drilling at. Just going to take our time. I left a little bit long on either side just in case you get a blowout. I'm just going to go through, back it out, clean some of the chips, and just keep going a little bit at a time. All right, I got all my supplies here. So one of the things I like to do is I like to seal up the end of the tubes with some beeswax. You can get this at most of your woodworking hobby stores. And what it does, it just prevents any of the glue, or in this case I'm using some 5-minute epoxy by Starbond. Check down in the description for a link to get a little bit off. All right, so now that I got that set up, let's mix up our epoxy. Now, when I'm using resin, I like to use a 5-minute epoxy versus like if I'm using a wood blank, I'll just use, just straight up super glue. Okay. So then I only put it down like 3/4 of it, and then I'm going to just turn it and then probably go the other way. Just clean off the excess, make sure you're not poking through on either side. Okay, I'm going to leave that here to set up, and then we'll get to turning it. So I used a barrel trimmer to square up the ends, just so that the brass tube in there is exposed, and got it mounted into a pin mandrel, and now we're going to turn it according to the bushings. This is a smaller one, bigger one. All of that's covered in the instructions. All right, so just a little tip here that I use. When you're going round and round, even no matter how much you're moving it, you're getting more scratches in here. You want to make sure that you're getting the previous grit out. So what I like to do is, in between every grit, I take, like for instance, this is 120, and I just go through and go lengthwise and try to get most of those round scratches out, so I know that I've got an even surface, and then I can tell the difference between when I go to the next grit, and those straight scratches should go away and they should all be round, and that lets me know that I got all of the previous grits scratches out. It only takes a few minutes. Alrighty, well, let's see what it looks like. Hopefully we got our mirror polish that we want. Oh yeah. Yeah, that did a nice job. Hopefully you can see how shiny that is, but hold on, we're not done. Now we're going to put a plastic polish on it and just take it up that extra notch. Alright, for this we're going to use this Hut Ultra Gloss plastic polish. You don't need much, just shake it up. Just going to put a little bit here on this little shop towel, and you don't need much, just a little dot, and we're just going to apply it here, and it'll turn the lathe on and get a nice polish on it. Turn the speed up. Alrighty, so let's get this off of here. Let's check out what we made. Alrighty. I don't know if you can see that, but looks really shiny. Okay, so there's only 2 parts on this, and this is going to be one of those do as I say, not as I did, because I made it backwards. I thought this small end was the end, you know, where the blade goes, and anyway, so I got it backwards, but that is okay. So these are 2 different sizes. So this is the cap, so we're just going to put that in, take enough of these out. Oh, this is not the most conducive setup for this. Okay, let's go like that. Trying to get this for you guys. So if you don't have a pin assembly jig like this, that's okay. If you've got a vise, you can use that. So it really doesn't matter as long as you get the job done. But these are super convenient. Okay, just make sure that it is aligned straight. And there you go. So, yeah, that works out great. All right, so now we're just going to put the blade in, put the cap on, and then we'll wrap things up. I'll be back in a second. So that's going to wrap things up. It turned out really nicely. You know, the cap unscrews to reveal the blade. And you can put the cap on and use it, or put the cap to the side. But the good thing is that, you know, it doesn't have an exposed blade. So I will leave a link down in the description for the kit, and then also I will have both the files to print out your own Honeycomb pen blank, or you can purchase the pen blank itself, either filled or unfilled. So all of that will be down in the description links to where you get this. The great thing is this is just plastic along with the resin, so they all finish pretty good and has the same finish on it. So anyway, that is going to wrap things up. I hope you enjoyed this video on how you can make these different pen blanks using 3D printing, or, you know, using the aluminum honeycomb. I'll have those aluminum honeycomb down in the link in the description also. So if you made it this far, thanks for sticking around. Click on the subscribe button if you like this content. If you didn't, check out some of the other. Maybe you'll find something you like there. Click the bell so that you're notified when I upload a new video. And, if you want to become a subscriber, click down there. If you want to see other videos, click up there and you can check out some of the other content. And until next time, I wish you and your family a blessed day. Thank you.